Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of Running Point on ysnlive.com. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig, and we are joined by the head football coach of Warren JFK as Warren JFK embarks on what is going to hopefully be their third high school state championship in football. Dom Prologo joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Coach, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Last week we didn't get an opportunity to talk with you prior to the Newark Catholic game. You guys knock off Newark Catholic in a knockdown, drag-out type of game, 20-13. Talk about that game and just the intensity that your kids had in that game that took you to the state championship game.
First of all, we played at Paul Brown Stadium in Massillon, which was an unbelievable venue. I'm not sure how that we handled the trip real well, or handled the fact that we were playing there real well. So we kind of came out with big eyes, and took us a little while to get going Friday night, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, they came out, they punched us in the mouth a little bit, and took our kids a while to settle down. But once they did, I thought we wore them down, and at the end of the game, we kind of get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. We got a blocked punt, and then we went from having 0 penalties for the game to having 4 15-yarders, bang, 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 and the next thing you know, they're knocking on the door, and so we didn't finish the game or start the game probably the way we wanted to, but the good thing about it is we got a W, and our kids know that. There's a lot to work on this week to get ready to try to win a state championship.
Coach, this is the first time I've had a chance to talk to you, so welcome to Running Point. But all regular season, the talk about Warren JFK had been the offense. Everyone was focusing on the offense, and rightly so. It was so prolific. Now that you're in the playoffs, it seems like your defense keeps stepping up every round. They keep stepping up their game a little bit. How impressed have you been of your defensive effort as the playoffs have gone on?
We all know that defense, championship teams play defense. And, we were kind of spoiled a little bit in 2016 with a dominant defense all the way through the season and through the championship. So we knew that our defense was going to have to, not be a work in progress at some point and actually show some progress. So, I'm really impressed with the way our kids have bought into what we're trying to get them to do and how physical they're playing. It's kind of a testament to the schedule we played this year. The schedule we played prepared us for the playoffs, and it let our kids know what we had to do defensively to be who we wanted to be. Anytime you make a run in the playoffs, your defense better be able to show up. You're not going to outscore everybody.
Coach, you're going up against New Breman from the Midwest Athletic Conference, and taking a look at that team, like Warren JFK, they have a very, very productive quarterback who can beat you with his arm, he can beat you with his legs in Mitchell Hayes. This is going to be an interesting battle between two quarterbacks that are very highly regarded in their side of the respective state.
No doubt. I've kind of equated it all week, and I don't know, maybe it is what it is, but, I've kind of equated it all week to Tim Tebow versus Johnny Manziel. And their kid reminds me of that Johnny Manziel we used to see in college where, he ran around, he ad-libbed, he made plays, his team ad-libbed around him, which makes, it makes him really difficult to defend. And then Cam is just he's a Tim Tebow guy, where he's going to run the ball right over you. He's still going to be able to throw it around you when he needs to, but he's going to make plays too. And it is kind of a battle of that. But let's even though the quarterbacks are getting all the publicity and all the praise, let's not forget that the game's still won up front. And it's a line of scrimmage ball game, and for us to win this game, we got to win the line of scrimmage, and if we do that, then we'll be in good shape.
Coach, talk a little bit about the offensive and defensive line from New Bremen. Are they as big as you are, Coach?
Yeah, their height's their heights are a little bit taller than us, I guess, but then again, anytime you see a MAC school, all those kids are a little taller. And we played Minster a couple years back. Their kids were taller than ours, but their weights are about the same as what you're going to see from us. So, as far as size goes, yeah, it's a similar comparison between the two teams. And, obviously they're from the MAC, so they're used to playing good physical football.
A lot of hype and attention that comes with the week before a state championship game. How have you guys kind of been handling kind of this week and the work ethic this week and trying to handle kind of the attention that comes with the state championship?
This is the third time I've been here, and I could tell you this. If your team and your leadership is good enough to get you here, they know what they're here for. They know what this is about. I don't need to be a rah-rah guy like maybe you would in week 5 or 6 of the regular season to get them to practice and get them to focus on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Right now, they're dialed in. They're ready to go. No matter what the hype is or anything else, our kids realize that they've got a goal, and that goal wasn't to get congratulated for getting to the state championship.
Coach, moments ago when we put you on the air, off the air, we were talking about the fact that because of Governor DeWine's impending curfew that starts tomorrow night, everything is moved back for Friday and Saturday. So where the 2 o'clock games, which is your game, now it's been moved back to 1 o'clock. So the 7 o'clock game can be moved to 6 o'clock. So everyone could either be home or be on the road headed to home before the 10 o'clock statewide mandated curfew. What does that mean for you guys? Is there any really demonstrative difference knowing now that you have to play this game an hour earlier than what you were looking to play this game?
Nah. Nope. When we won in 16, we played at 10 a.m., man. Like I said before, our kids are where they want to be. If Governor DeWine called right now and said, hey, if you want to get in your state championship game, it's tonight at 7, our kids are strapping it up, ready to go. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter when they move it to, where they move it to. We're chomping at the bit to go. So that makes no difference. No.
Coach, with all the uncertainty of the summer and, back in the summer not even knowing if we'd have a season or what the season would look like, how special has this season been watching your kids accomplish what they've accomplished and getting to this point when you look back at the summer and kind of all the uncertainty that we had?
In an interview, and I don't remember where it was, who it was with, because they're all kind of running together anymore, but one of the things, the quotes that I gave was, somebody said to me early in June or July that, this year is going to be an asterisk year. And it was kind of a negative comment that they made about, being an asterisk year. And now that we're here, I agree with them. It should be an asterisk year, and that asterisk should be toughest possible conditions to get to a state championship. Because, our kids went through so much this year, the mental ups and downs, that it's been difficult, that every day it's in your face, the fear mongering, everything else that's going on with this COVID. And, our kids have just been resilient. And I think that just goes back to from day one, when it was announced that we could start practice again, and we started on June 3rd. We told our kids, COVID we're not going to talk about COVID. We're not going to talk about us getting shut down. We're getting ready to play a game August 28th. And we're going to practice like we do every summer. We went 4 days a week in June, 5 days a week in July. So I think from day one, our kids have had the mindset of, we're going to get through this season. We're going to be able to achieve the goals that we had for ourselves. And so, here we are. Kids have gotten to where they want to be, and now they just got to focus and finish.
Couple more things before we let you go, because I know you're extremely busy being at state championship week. Clearly, there is a monster-sized difference between the two programs in that Warren JFK will be appearing in their 6th state championship game. You guys have pedigree. You have won 2 state championship games in the past. You guys have played in a state championship format in school history. New Bremen is going to be in their first state championship game ever. Now, last year, Anna was in their first state championship game. They defeated Springfield, but Springfield was in their first state championship game as well. Knowing that these kids weren't a part of the team and weren't on the field for JFK's 2 state titles, but that pedigree always carries over to the future classes of Warren JFK. How big of an advantage is it in the fact that your program has had far more experience in this spotlight than New Bremen is?
I don't know if the word advantage is the correct word. I just know that our kids, from the time, every year, from the time we start in December or January, whenever we're allowed to start lifting again, until the end of the season, our kids are reminded that there's an expectation here. We expect to be in the playoffs. We expect to make a run in the playoffs. And so, they're every day of everything they do is built around that. Where, a program maybe that doesn't have that type of history, maybe they're just trying to chase something to get there. I don't know what that, I guess I kind of dealt with that at Canfield back in 05 when we made our state championship run. But I could just say, as far as we're concerned at Kennedy, I think the only advantage you can say that we have is our kids have an expectation because the community has that expectation, because the culture has that expectation. So everything they do, everywhere they look, when they walk through those halls, there's reminders of what's been done in the past by the guys who wore that K.
Coach, before we let you go, you have made mention time and time again during the postseason about the table of greatness. There are 2 teams from Warren JFK, including the 2016 team that you were a part of as the defensive coordinator. They have a seat at the table. I'm just going to leave it like this. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner are on that table, and it's time for you guys to do some eating.
Let's go.
Bon appetit, Coach. Bon appetit, and let's win a championship.
Let's go.
All right, best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
You got it. And there he goes, Coach Prologo, Warren JFK. He's been talking about it all during the postseason. It's time for these kids to sit to the table. Well, you know what? It's time to put the food on the table. Get your butt over there, and let's start eating.